Hello. Today I'm going to talk about something that I've thought about doing a video about for quite a long time, and the reason why I haven't done a video about it is because I just don't want to sound snowflake. But it is something that I've mentioned briefly on different social media platforms, and a lot of women have asked me more about it and asked me to do a video about it, and yeah, because there's not that much information and support out there. So today I'm going to talk about PMDD, and that stands for premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And yeah, I'll just tell you what happened at the start of this process and where I am now with it and where I think I'm going to go in the future. So a few years ago, I noticed that my mental health was very up and down, and this was like on a regular basis. I knew that I wasn't depressed or anything, but it seemed to be like the week to 2 weeks before my period, and my mood would just drop. Like, I could be in the supermarket or at work or lying in bed or something, just any time throughout the day, a week to 2 weeks before my period. 1 minute I'd be fine and I could feel it drop, and it's as if somebody just comes up to you and shits in your cornflakes. It's a very sudden, like it just comes over you and there's nothing you can do about it. And I would notice that this, for the last few years anyway, because I used to self-harm regularly when, I think from the age of like 12 or something. Well, around that time anyway. I can't recall the first time that I did it. But I kind of stopped doing it as I got older. And now the only time I do it is a week to 2 weeks before my period. And I just noticed that the way I was feeling in this week to 2 weeks time frame was not natural or normal. This was not PMS. PMS doesn't cause you to feel like you want to run away from everybody and everything, even though everything in your life is good and everybody around you is good. PMS doesn't make you feel really, really angry to the point where you think about putting your head through a car windscreen or a window, or walking in the middle of the road and getting run over. PMS doesn't make you feel paranoid to the stage where you don't trust anybody, you feel like everybody hates you, everybody's out to get you, and that paranoia is so intense that you have to shut yourself away and not speak to anybody for a few days, because you are convinced that everybody is against you. And PMS doesn't make you feel like you actually want to end your life. And every month, since a few years ago, that is what the week to 2 weeks before my period is like. And it has a massive negative effect on my relationships, work, everything. On top of everything that I have to put up with my Asperger's, there's this as well. But the thing is, with my Asperger's, I can manage that. The thing is with my PMDD is I have irregular periods, and you never quite know when it's going to jump up and bite you on the arse and ruin your life for a couple of weeks. So, you know, you can't really plan anything or go anywhere because you don't know if your PMD is going to ruin it, and there's not much point in doing anything like going on holiday or to a festival or something. I don't think I'd want to go to another festival, to be honest. It's a bit too much for me, but do you know what I mean? Things that you have to plan. Particularly with friends and stuff, like you don't want to be sat there miserable just wanting to go and crawl under a rock somewhere and die. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is not normal. So since I found out that it might be PMDD, again, sorry about my wobbliness, I haven't got a tripod or anything yet. I've lost my train of thought now. Oh yeah, that's it. Since I thought, well, this isn't right, I need to like look into this a bit more, I found out something called PMDD, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it because there's not much information out there, so it might be just some bullshit that somebody's made up. It might just be me being a bit mental, dunno. So I left it for a couple of years, and then a couple of years ago I was referred to a gynecologist. I went to the gynecologist. They said yes, it's PMDD. They gave me progesterone patches that you put on your bum, like on your bum cheek, and they're basically hormone patches. The gynecologist didn't really explain things very well or give me much information. So I tried these progesterone patches and HRT patches, and then he gave me some oral tablets. I didn't fully understand what they were, when I was supposed to take them, what they actually did, and I started getting some side effects, and I just didn't really feel me, so I stopped it completely, and now basically we're back to square one. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say in terms of like advice and stuff, because like the best advice I can give you is just try not to let it defeat you, because it does feel as though these couple of weeks before your period, it's like somebody is trying to kill you. And that sounds crazy as fuck, like, you know, believe me, don't believe me, if you've never experienced it before, you probably won't understand. And, you know, I envy you, you know. It's nice that you don't have to feel like this. But for the women that do feel like this and do suffer, it is absolute hell. So yeah, I mean, when I publish this video, I suppose I'll concentrate more on what else I can do to relieve the symptoms. I've tried taking 5-HTP, but you know, you'll probably have seen the videos that I did before about 5-HTP. It did work for a limited period of time a few years ago. Then I think I built up a tolerance to it, and I stopped taking them. And to be honest, after that, it's never really hit me the same way that it did when I first took them, in a positive way. So I don't really think there's much point in me taking it anymore. A high potency vitamin B complex is good. I use a Solgar one, but the thing is, I'm going to be honest with you, I forget to take medication and stuff. I am useless with stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, I could probably get into the routine of taking supplements and stuff if it would help me, which it probably will to an extent. But it is getting into the routine of doing it, because I am very routine orientated because I've got Asperger's. So for me to break a routine and start a new one, it is quite a big task. and it can take quite a long time to crack. So the other thing is exercise and healthy eating. I have just, as of yesterday, no, a couple of days ago, sorry, been trying to get back into exercising. I'm not comfortable enough running yet, because I get very paranoid about people shouting fat at me and stuff like that. And obviously that thought and that anxiety increases a lot a week to 2 weeks before my period. So I don't want to put myself in more of a position where I'm going to feel like people are out to get me, because trust me, like it's worse enough as it is. It's bad enough as it is, sorry. And healthy eating, obviously I'm vegan. I talk about that a lot. Very preachy, and that does help. Before I went vegan, it was definitely worse. But now, with all the alternatives available now and everything to ice cream and pizza and all the stuff that I used to eat before when I ate meat, I'm not eating as healthy as I should. So again, as of a couple of days ago, I started on a high carb, low fat, whole foods, plant-based diet, and that has been the best diet for me all round. You know, general overall health, mental health, and losing a bit of weight, which I need to do because I've been eating my feelings. That's probably not added to, that's probably not helped the situation with my PMDD and my mental health in general. But, you know, that's something that I've always struggled with. Food, either I punish myself with it by not eating enough, or I punish myself by eating way too much. By the way, that isn't as much of a problem now. I have kind of, you know, but in the past, when I was younger and everything, I did have serious problems with food. So, yeah, diet is definitely something that helps or can hinder, depending on however route you take with it, if you like. So, what else? Water, drinking more water. This sounds like, you know, oh, you should drink more water, but you actually should, like, it's good for everything. I'll be honest with you though, like, if I have that much water, I'll need about 20 wees, and my job, like, I can't be going to the toilet every 10 minutes, like, because it is non-stop, we hardly get breaks. And then on my days off, I don't want to be spending it going to the toilet every 10 minutes either, but I suppose, again, you've got to get yourself into the routine of doing stuff. So yeah, like, I think in the future, when I'm ready, I will go and get referred to another gynaecologist down here, because I live in a different part of the country, obviously, now. I think that would benefit me, but I just wanted to do a video about this condition because more awareness needs to be raised of it, and like I said before, a lot of people have asked me to do something about it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm prepared to say about the matter now. I am starting to feel like, the last couple of days, so I'm not feeling myself as I'm doing this, so I will probably do another video on it soon. But yeah, this is just like, be aware of PMDD. Because the thing is, like, if you are the partner or a family member or a friend of somebody with PMDD, there's a lot you can do that doesn't really take much effort to be more supportive and proactive for the person that suffers with PMDD. You know, it doesn't take much just to text them and ask them if they're alright, or be a bit more patient with them.
You know, my boyfriend is an he deserves a gold medal, to be honest. I mean, I'm not verbally abusive towards him. On the contrary, you know, like with my Asperger's meltdowns and that, they're not geared against other people. I've always taken things out on myself, which I know isn't great either. But, you know, I do get very withdrawn and obviously very paranoid and and all of that before my period, and Brad does see that, obviously, because we live together now, and thankfully he is a very patient and understanding person. So yeah. And also, if you do have PMDD, or you think that you do, you need to tell people about it. You need to tell the people closest to you, your partner, your family, your close friends, maybe even work, about it, because, you know, nobody can help with it if they don't know. They might not understand it, but, you know, the first step is to just have that conversation and take it from there. So yeah, I think the plan is now, I'll probably get referred again to a gynaecologist down here, and I'll keep you updated with the process and what happens and stuff. If you guys would want to know about that, I appreciate it's a TMI subject. And yeah, if you want to ask me anything else about it, then please feel free to do so. Another option to combat PMDD is more of a permanent one, and that's to have an oophorectomy, which is having your ovaries taken out. And I did actually consider this, and that is the original reason why I went to a gynaecologist in the first place, because I've never wanted kids before, neither did my partner, but now we're having second thoughts about it. So it's probably best not to make such a permanent decision like that. So, and also as well, I have tried contraception to regulate my periods and everything, but they just make me even more crazy. So it's like catch-22. So I don't know why I'm laughing about it. It's not fucking funny. It's shit. But yeah, that's PMDD. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.